October 1929. The stock market crashes, marking the end of a 6 year of unparalleled prosperity for most sectors of the American economy. The crash begins on October 24, the Black Thursday.
March 1930. More than 32 million people are employed, up from 1.5 million before October 1929 crash.
January 1931. Texas Congressman Wright Patman introduces legislation authorizing immediate payment of bonus fund to veterans of World War I, equaling $1 a day for each day of service in U.S. and $1 with 25 cents for each day overseas.
February 1931. Food riots begin to break out in parts of the U.S. Resentment of foreign workers increases along with unemployment. In Los Angeles, California, Mexican Americans are accused of stealing jobs from real Americans.
December 1931, New York's Bank of the United States collapsed. It was the largest single bank failure in the nation's history.
March 1932, 3,000 unemployed workers march on the Ford Motor Company plant in River Rock, Michigan.
April 1932. More than 7,500,000 New Yorkers are reported to be dependent upon city relief.
1932. Determined to collect their bonus, pay for service of 15,000 and 25,000 World War I veterans gathered and began setting up encampments near the White House and the Capitol in Washington, D.C.
July 1932. The Reconstruction Finance Corporation is authorized to lend needy states sums from the National Treasury. The money is to target relief and public work projects.
November 1932. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is elected president in a landslide over Herbert Hoover.
1933. President Roosevelt, under the Emergency Banking Act, orders the nation of the gold standard, the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, in established.
1933. Congress passes the Glass-Steagall Act that separates commercial from investment banking and sets up the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation to guarantee bank deposit.
October 1933. The Civil Works Administration is established, devised as a wide-scale program that could employ up to 4 million people.
May 1934, a 3-day dust storm blew an estimated 50 billion tons of soil of the terrain of the west and southwest, and deposits it as far east as New York and Boston.
November 1934, Father Charles E. Coughlin established the Union for Social Justice.
April 1935. President Roosevelt signs legislation creating the Works Progress Administration.
In 1935, the National Youth Administration is set up to address the needs of young men and women who are not allowed in the CCC.
Early 1935, President Roosevelt signed the Wagner National Labor Relations Act. The goal of this act is to validate union authority and supervise union elections.
November 1936. Defeating Kansas Governor Alfred M. Landon, President Roosevelt is elected to his second term as president.
In 1937, United Automobile Workers strike at the General Motors plants in Flint, Michigan.
1937. The slow economic recovery made possible by New Deal program suffers a setback as unemployment rises. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt detractors call in the start of the Roosevelt recession.
1937, a Republic Steel South Chicago plant. Workers and their families try to combine a picnic with a rally and demonstration. 10 people are killed and dozens more are wounded in the Memorial Day massacre.
April 1938. President Roosevelt asked Congress to authorize $3.75 billion in federal spending to stimulate the sagging economy.
November 1940. Franklin Roosevelt is elected to an unprecedented third term as president, defeating Wendell Willkie.